Hi, I'm Dr. Infinity. How can I help you? Yes. You have a referral? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So tell me your full name. And your date of birth. Great, and your full address, please. Okay. So you're here to be checked for snoring. So tell me about the problem you've been experiencing. Okay. And is it quite disruptive? Okay. Does it happen most nights? Okay. And has anyone ever told you make any strange sounds during the night, or is it just the snoring? Okay. And tell me, most mornings, would you say you wake up feeling refreshed, tired? Okay. I understand. Okay, you've been checked for sleep apnea. All right. Okay. Sure, absolutely. So what we can do today is have an exam of your nasal canal and your airways as well. Yeah. I'll have a quick look down your throat just to rule out adenoids. And then if I don't see any reason to refer you, we might even be able to fit you for an snoring management device. And then I would say give that a go for a few weeks and we can take it from there. Does that sound okay? Excellent, great, okay. Great, so if you don't mind, let me just take your glasses off. Okay. You don't need to see too much for the next few minutes. Okay, can I come closer and touch your face, please? Okay, if you can just raise your chin for me. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna touch your nose if that's okay. Okay, the shape of your nose is pretty straight, pretty good. I'm just gonna lift the tip of your nose if that's okay. Okay, I don't see any issues or any concerns in terms of a deviated septum. But let me just have a closer look. Okay. I'm just gonna feel up and down the bridge of your nose if that's okay. Alright. Okay, and take a deep breath for me. Okay. And a deep breath again. Okay. And breathe out. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's too much blockage at the moment. You're just getting over a cold. Okay, it's quite normal in this time of year. What I do hear though is a little bit of an obstruction in your right nostril. Right. Okay, can you open up for me? Just go. Okay. All right. Thank you. Right, so your throat looks completely normative. I don't see any issues. Can you just lift your chin a little bit for me? And I'm going to just check your lymph nodes here. Okay. I'm just going to feel behind your ears. Okay. I'm just going to gently touch your face to check your sinuses, if that's all right. along your eyebrows here. Okay. Well, the good news is that I'm not seeing any issues with your sinuses or your throat. Like I said, I don't think there's any reason for concern in the way of a deviated septum. And in general, I hear air passing quite well through your nose as well. You're able to take deep breaths, and I can feel that there's good airflow. Now, what might be happening is that in some positions when we're lying down, our soft palate can constrict our airways. Equally, what might be an issue too is if you're lying down a certain way, you could also be obstructing one of your nostrils if you're a side sleeper. Yeah. The constriction in terms of the soft palate happens usually when you're lying on your back. Are you aware of which position you sleep in? Okay. So it's good to try and rule out all of those different causes if you change positions during your sleep, which most people do. Okay, great. And can you tell me, do you know roughly when you started noticing the snoring happening? And have you ever been told that you gasp for air or stop breathing in your sleep? No, and they ruled that out during your apnea exam as well. Okay, fantastic. Good. Well, we've pretty much ruled out most of the causes. What I'll do now is I'll try to go into your nostril with a small brush and take a small sample of the various tissues and debris you might have in your nose. And once I've done that, we can try and fit you for a anti-snoring device, okay? So let me just sanitize my hands here, since I'll be getting a little bit closer. And what we'll do is we'll send these to a lab. Okay. Great. Okay, so let me just get my tools here. So what I'll be using is this small container, and I'm just going to be going in with a brush this small. It's quite little. Now, if you feel the need to sneeze, just raise your hand and I'll back off. No, it's very, very normal, okay? All right, so just look up for me. You can close your eyes if it's uncomfortable. Great. Now you won't see anything in here, but it's just traces of what I was able to collect from your nose. You need to sneeze. Yeah, go ahead. Bless you. Yeah, it's completely normal. Okay. Well, what I think we can do is start to try the less invasive and less clinical methods. I usually recommend this to patients because in the event that any of these over-the-counter remedies do help, it just means that you can manage your condition that way. We don't need to consider any other more serious interventions, okay? All right, so I have 3 products here for you that we can try. The first one are these nasal strips, and I've put a few of them on the front for you to be able to see what they do. So basically, this is a strip that contains a piece of flexible plastic. I'll try to unstick one for you here. Okay. So this one is one that I use for demonstrations, so don't worry about how it looks. We'll fit you with a new one, and should we decide that this is the right solution for you, then I'll be able to get you a new pack. So all this is a strip that looks like this. You may see that in the middle there is this flexible piece of plastic. Yeah, you can touch it. You see it's a little bit tough. And you fit it over your nose like so. What's really important is that you're able to fit the longer lines along the top of the bridge of your nose, and the smaller lines should fit snugly just above the little curve of the side of your nose. On the box you'll find a little illustration to help you. So as you can see, you want to make sure that it's fit correctly, okay, just in case you forget. And what this should do is gently lift up the sides of your nose right here, okay? Now take a deep breath in for me just now. Exactly. So it allows for a bit more airflow. You see? So let's fit one onto you just now and see how that feels for you. Yes, you do use a different one every single night because once you apply it, they lose efficacy. So they come with these strips. What I recommend you do is, first of all, make sure you have the longer bit on the top, okay? And then what I recommend you do is you take off one of the strips, you place it on your nose, and then you take off the second one. So I'll do it for you if you just keep your head still. Yeah, let me just make sure that we can get it exactly in the right place. Like so. Do you feel the difference? Exactly. Yeah. Now, the benefits of this is that there's nothing inside of your nostril, so it tends to be some of the more comfortable devices in terms of the inner part. Some people do occasionally experience some irritation to the skin. It also tends to be less effective if you have oily skin and an oily T-zone, or if you tend to sweat a lot during the night, okay? So what you might find is that it slowly starts to peel itself, and you may find that you wake up in the middle of the night or toward the early hours of the morning and it's no longer there, in which case you may find that you continue to snore, okay? So let me just remove that for you. Okay, great. So I'm going to leave you with a few samples of these, okay, that you can take home. Now the second device I want to recommend is, well, both of the ones really that I will recommend now are internal devices. So the first one is called AirMax, okay? It fits directly into your nose and it goes into your nasal cavity, and then it does the same action of separating your nostrils and lifting and creating more space for airflow, but from the inner part, okay? So let me just take this one out for you. This one, we of course use a new and sterile pair. And I have a variety of sizes here, and I would say that for you, I would go with a medium size, I think. Okay, so the device is very small. It just looks like this, and it's actually fitted this way. So once it's inside, this little bridge will sit on the little bit of your nose here, okay? And these are the areas that are going to separate your nostrils. So if you take a deep breath in for me and deep breath out, there's no need to worry. I'm just going to separate your nostrils and go ahead and fit these inside. Very good. Good. Just keep breathing for me. Okay. Let me just make a small adjustment. Okay, how does that feel? And if you just shake your head for me, does it feel secure? Good. Yeah, it looks good on your nose. And you feel the same effect. Yes, you may find that it does touch the inside of your septum. And for some people, they find that uncomfortable. So generally, it's a very effective device, but what you might find is that during the night, you may start to feel discomfort, or especially if you're sleeping on your side and your nostril becomes constricted, may press. It is a soft silicone, but it needs to have some tension, and therefore you may find that it presses a bit. It's kind of just something to be aware of. Okay, so let me just take it out for you. Yeah. Okay, right. So very easy. You put it in. Then all you need to do is rinse it with some water. If you find that you feel you need more than that, you can do some soap and water. And I do recommend you rinse it before and after use, okay? So I'll send you home with this one that you just used now. Let me just sanitize my hands one more time. And we try the third and final device, okay? With this one, we may need to try a few. So this device is similar to the one we just tried. However, the difference is that it is more of a tubular shape. So as you can see, it's a similar idea. It gets inserted into your nose like so. However, it's more of an open tube that works to open up your nostril from the inside. And what I'm gonna need to do is just help you to decide on a size. I think in this one we have two, so I think with this one I would probably go for a small. And what we need to decide is whether we use ridges or no ridges. The ridges help to keep it in, especially if you have a bit more mucus or a runny nose. It really does still work. Whoops, and the ridges try and keep it inside. Okay, so let's try it with the ridges. Now, what you'll see is this is an incredibly soft silicone compared to the previous product. So that's definitely a plus. The downside is that there's more surface area touching your nostril and also a larger opening up top, so around the bit that begins to be narrower for some people. So you may find that it just feels really large at the start, okay? Let me just make sure it's closed properly. Okay. You ready to try this one on? Okay, so just good. You're getting used to it now. Excellent. Okay, this one's really easy to fit. Good. Yeah, you do feel like there's more in there, right? Uncomfortable? Okay. All right. Let me just feel your nose a little bit. Yeah, I think the nostril on this end is a little bit smaller for you, so you might find that it's a little less comfortable. Do you want me to take it out? Okay. Just return it into your case here. So you get to take all of these home. Out of the three you tried, which one would you say was the most comfortable? Okay, so this one. Okay. Well, anyway, look, I think for most of my patients, it's really about personal preference. So what I would say is take all three home. I would say try them in the order up to which you found them comfortable. So I would try this one first. and I would try this one next, and then the strips. With the strips too, because you're using one every night, they do tend to run a bit pricier. They're a bit more wasteful. So I say really only go for that if you find that the internal devices don't work, okay? All right, so let me just get your letter here. And I'm just gonna make a note. Okay, great. So that's going to be free of charge for you today. However, when you've decided on a device, come see me. I would give it probably 3 to 4 days at least at a minimum for each one. So if you come and see me in about 2 to 3 weeks, you can make an appointment at the reception, and then we'll take it from there, okay? Fantastic. Do you have any questions? Okay. No, it's a completely normal, very common thing that many people experience, and I'm absolutely confident from meeting you today that we can take care of this for you. Okay, fantastic. Great. Have an infinitely relaxing evening.